Red Voyage News, splashing the check-in. Thank you for tuning in. I have an article right here brought to you by NPR.org. China bans effeminate men from television. Now, I used to live in Beijing, China years ago. I've been living in Asia now for a total of 7 years. So I've seen the imagery of effeminate men out here in Asia for quite some time. I used to live in Thailand. All right. But if you don't know, in China, there's about 40 million more men than women when it comes to the male to female ratio out there. And I believe that number just might be higher. So naturally, you're going to have men looking at each other because there's not enough women to go around for the men. And men that were in couples, men that were in a relationship with a woman in China, when I was living, especially young couples, the man in the relationship before the marriage, before the family, they played an effeminate role in the relationship because the women know, okay, there's 40 million, there's 40 million more of you, and you have hundreds of thousands of foreigners, people from out west living in China as well. They had millions of options, and you have social media. So a man had to be at a woman's call and beckon in China. When I was living there in China, I used to see men carrying women's purses, carrying their baggage, luggage, men crying with women at coffee shops, crying with women on the subway, men bowing down to women, literally bowing down to women in public. Women barking on men. Men had to go through a lot just to be in a relationship with a woman, just to maintain a relationship with a woman. A lot of people out west, they have no idea what a lot of Chinese men go through in China. I remember one guy I knew personally in China, the Chinese man. I remember when I just met him. This was a guy I used to work with. All right. When I just met him, he just got out of a 5-year relationship with his girlfriend, Chinese girlfriend. And I found out he never had sex with her. And, that's normal. That's normal. Why? Because they know I have options. Women, I have millions more options than men out here. So a lot of men, they kind of turn to each other. This imagery of effeminate men, certain women, they find this attractive because K-pop is real popular. Even though when I was living in China, they kind of taught the history between them and Japan, them and South Korea. So on one end, you have a lot of people who would say how much they don't like South Korea. But on the other hand, you have a lot of women who like the K-pop artists from Korea, and they're very feminine. Your average male K-pop artist, superstar, they wear makeup. They look like this guy. Actually, they look more feminine than this guy right here in the picture. As far as the LGBTQ community in China, that wasn't out in the open when I was living there. I I don't want to say something that's out of line here, but it almost seemed like it was looked down upon. Maybe not. I don't know. But that wasn't something that was out in the open in China. And the Chinese government, they set limits for families on how many kids you can have. So when I was there, it didn't matter how much money you made, how rich you were. If the government said, hey, you and your husband can only have one child, you can only have one child. While other families, they could have 2 kids. And if the government said you can only have one child and you had 2, or if the government said you can only have 2 and you had 3, you were punished. Now, just recently, the government said that everybody can have 3 kids. Part of the effemination of males, I would have to partially put that on the diet as well. One of the things that a lot of Asians say about black people, right, is they say they have good genes. Oh, good genes. You guys, you have so much testosterone, you could build muscle. We can't do that. We can't do that. We can't do that. I'm like, yes, you can. Part of the diet, you see what they eat. It's just a lot of carbs and MSG, which suppresses male testosterone. But I don't want to go into a whole spill on nutrition. All right. What are your thoughts on this ban? The banning of the imagery of effeminate men in television in China. Because when I used to live in China, roaming around in the streets, I didn't see any feminine men like that walking around. And I didn't watch television over there. Now, when you look at these K-pop videos, yeah, they're very feminine, but I didn't really see those type of feminine men over, roaming around like that in Korea neither. That was on television. But, K-pop is Korean. We're talking about China. All right. So let me know in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, comment, share this video. I'm over and I'm out. Peace.